Hi there. I'm going to show you how to get a Unity account and then install a free version of Unity and also show you which version to install for our class. So if you start at unity.com and then in the top right click the person icon, then you'll create a Unity ID. And that's going to ask you for an email and password and a username and your full name. I think you should use your school email address, your .edu account, because we're going to set this up as a student account, which gives you access to Unity for free, but also I think gives you maybe some access to tutorials and things. So once you fill all this out, it'll send an email to your school account. You'll go in there, click verify, and you'll have a Unity ID. Then go back to unity.com. And if you scroll all the way down, under education, there's a link that says students. And then we're going to choose post-secondary students because that is college. So we say get started, and then you type in that email address and password that you already set up. It'll ask you if you want to apply to make your account a student account, and you say yes. Then you should be able to click through to install Unity, and you want the education version. The personal version is also free, but I think education, while you are a student, gets you a couple of extra options. So what that installs is the Unity software where we build our project, but it also installs the Unity Hub, which is sort of like where you install the installs for Unity. And if that doesn't make any sense, don't worry, I'll explain. So mine is already installed, and I have a bunch of projects here kind of on the splash page, and yours wouldn't have those yet. But hopefully yours is logged in and it's associated with your account. If it's not, you can log in up here in the top left. And then under that, there's the projects, and then there's installs. If you click that, yours also won't have any, but mine does. And the reason I have so many versions installed is this piece of software works a little differently than you might be used to if you're thinking of media creation software like Adobe Creative Cloud. Like if you have the latest version of Adobe Premiere, you just have the latest version. And if they push out a new version, they ask you and you say, yes, update. And then that's the version you have. You don't like keep all the old versions. Unity works differently. You do keep a lot of old versions. And the reason that is if you started building an app or a game on the 2019 version, if you tried to open it up in the new 2022 version or something like that, a lot of things would have changed and a lot of things will have broken. So Unity supports the old versions with what are called long-term support versions, LTS versions. So it would not be uncommon to stick with multiple LTS versions that sort of are when your project started. Anyway, because of all that, we are sticking with a particular LTS version, and that is 2021.3.16F1. That's the version we're using in this class. That's the version that is installed on all the lab computers. So you need to install that version if you're going to install at home. You know, you can just do all your projects on the lab computers, but if you want to have Unity at home and be able to do your homework at home, you need this same version. So what you do is click Install Editor, and it'll show you the official releases. But see, Unity's already even moved forward. You know, since the semester started, they're already at 2021.3.21. But we are sticking with 16. So the way we get it is we go over to Archive and then choose Download Archive. That's going to open up this window, and we're going to choose the Unity 2021 tab, and then scroll down until we see Unity 2021.3.16. That's what we're after. So then we click Unity Hub to send that to install in that Unity Hub software. It'll ask if we're okay with that. Our browser will say, you know, are you good with sending to this other software. We say yes, and yours will recognize now that it has another version to install. Mine already has this version, so it's like you've already got it. What that's going to look like then is you'll click install, and then it's going to show you a screen that looks like this. And this is asking which modules you want to include. And modules, for the most part, are what we're going to build for or output to. So things like Windows or Mac or iOS or whatever. So here's the things you need. You need, under Dev Tools, you need Microsoft Visual Studio. And then, because we're going to build to the Oculus Quest, which runs Android, we need Android build support, and the two things underneath it, OpenJDK and Android SDK. And then you should also include Windows build support. Finally, if you're building to Mac on our school computers, or if you have a Mac, or if, you know, for our first project, you're going to want to output to Mac because that's what you'll be showing it on at our school computers, you should include Mac build support, even if you're not on a Mac, personally, because you're trying to make software for a Mac. So anyway, we would select those three things: Android, Mac, and Windows build support. And then we'd hit continue, and it'll take a little while and install, and then you will have Unity installed on your home computer, so you can use both the lab and your home computer on the project.